Alright, today we're going to talk a little bit about animal cells and plant cells. What are the different organelles that are found in both different types of cells, in animal cells only and plant cells only, and then we're going to talk about both. So in plant cells only, we have centrioles and lysosomes. Now, centrioles, the function of a centriole is it's an organelle that help in cell division. Now, if you think about it, the way that you can remember this is cents are divisions of dollars. So centrioles are organelles that help in cell division. Now, lysosomes. Lysosomes has digestive enzymes that help digest. Now, if you think about it, after lunch, you digest your food. And lysosome starts with L. Also, lysosomes are a type of protein. And a lot of times you eat meat at lunch, which is a lysosome protein. So lysosome has a digestive enzyme that helps with digest. Now, in plant cells only, you have chloroplast, you have large vacuoles, and you have cell walls. In the chloroplast is where photosynthesis takes place. Now, chloroplast is the food that a plant cell needs to survive, and chloroplast is only found in a plant cell. Now, a large vacuole. If you remember, vacuole is where things are stored. If you think of a vacuum, the bag of a vacuum, that's where all the dust is stored. So a large vacuole stores large amounts of water. Now, what does a plant need to survive? It needs water. So in the large vacuole, that's where all the water is stored. Now, a cell wall. Cell walls are also only found in plant cells. And a cell wall protects the cell by providing a rigid structure around the cell. Now, in a plant cell, plants go through water and sunlight and heat and really cold temperatures. So it needs something that's going to protect it from those things. So in plant cells, only cell walls are found, and they protect the cell by providing a rigid structure. Now, what's found in both? So in both plant and animal cells, we have a cell membrane. Now, a cell membrane is a layer that helps maintain balance. A cell membrane helps maintain balance within the cell. It's basically the brain of the cell. Now, ribosomes are actually proteins. Now, ribosomes gives a cell a rough appearance, and it also gives protein. Now, if you think about it, protein is found in meat, and ribs are a type of meat. So ribosomes are proteins, and they give cells a rough appearance. Now, a mitochondria. Mitochondria is where ATP, which remember is energy, is synthesized. Now, if you think about it, energy is in batteries. So if you think about it, mitochondria is simply a battery for the cells. Cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is where the organelles are found. So in both plant cells and animal cells, cytoplasm is where the organelles are found. Now, a nucleus. A nucleus is where the DNA is stored. That's the heart of the cell. And the nucleus is the heart of the cell. It's where the DNA is stored, and it's where all the action happens. Now, Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus is where protein gets packaged. If you think about it, a Golgi apparatus kind of sounds like a rubber band. And a rubber band stretches, and protein stretches, and the Golgi apparatus stretches to pack all of the protein. Now, a rough ER. A rough ER is where ribosomes are found. And if you remember, ribosomes is a type of protein, and the ribosomes are found in the rough ER. And if you remember, ribosomes give a cell a rough appearance, so it's found in the rough ER. Now, in the smooth ER is where everything is detoxified or broken down, and that happens in the smooth ER. Alright, so that's animal cells versus plant cells. Now we're going to talk a little bit about monomers and polymers. Now, monomers come together to form polymers. And if you remember, mono means one, and poly means many. So, the monomers come together to form the polymers. Now, there are 4 types of monomers and polymers, and they are proteins, carbohydrates, nucleic acid, and lipids. Now, if you remember, lipids are also fat. Okay, so protein. What's the type of protein? What's the monomer for protein? The monomer for protein is your amino acids. Amino acids combine to make proteins, which are your polymers. So you have monomers, which are one individual amino acids. They form together to make proteins. Now, what is the function of proteins in the body? Proteins do all the work in the cell and the body. They can only function under certain conditions. Okay, why is this the function? Proteins are what tell the body what to do. Proteins help break down certain foods. You need proteins to survive, and proteins are found mainly in meat. Now, carbohydrates. What's the monomer for carbohydrates? The monomer for carbohydrates is the monosaccharides. Now, all the monosaccharides combine together to make the polymers, which are the polysaccharides, which are also found in carbohydrates. Now, what is the function of the carbohydrates? They play an important role in the storage and transportation of energy and in the structure of cells. Now, if you think about it, carbohydrates are mainly bread and sugars. Now, bread sometimes comes in a sack. So if you can think monosaccharides, a sack of bread. Carbohydrates are monosaccharides and polysaccharides. Now, bread breaks down to make sugars, and sugar is energy. So it's monosaccharides and polysaccharides are the storage and transportation of energy, and carbohydrates break down to make energy. Now, nucleic acids. The monomer of nucleic acids are nucleotides. And nucleotides all form together to make nucleic acid. And nucleic acids help to make up your DNA and your RNA. So the nucleic acids are extremely important because they make your DNA and your RNA. Now your lipids. Your lipids are also known as fats. So what are your monomers of lipids? Your monomers are your glycerol and your fatty acids. And these all form together to make your lipids. Now, what do? They play an important role in maintaining the cell membrane of organelles. Also, they store energy and serve as insulators. Now, what are insulators? Insulators help you keep warm. And so what lipids do, your fats, actually help you keep warm, help your body keep warm against the cold that is outside. So these are your polymers and your monomers and your polymers. Remember, your monomers all form together to make your polymers.